Hello, today is Monday the 8th of December. I think this will be combined with yesterday's vlog just because I didn't get very much footage yesterday. Yeah, I have been home for a bit. I think struggling a little bit today. I'm gonna work a little bit on my test knit. I had to quickly pop that down. So hopefully I've not lost any stitches. This is a test knit for Alethea Handmade, so I'm going to work a little bit on that. I have a clarinet lesson in about an hour, so I'll keep working until then. I was wanting a nap because I am exhausted, and I'm now getting to the point where most days I need to have a lay down or a nap of some sorts, but it can take me a while to, I don't know, wake up and be functioning again afterwards. So if I can, I'm going to try and hold out until after my lesson, and then I can have a nap, and it's not a problem because I'm not going anywhere else today. I need to open up my advent calendar, so I'll do that as well. I'm just watching some Vlogmases. Trying to think, yeah, there was something else I was going to mention. Oh yeah, I think I'm getting more comfortable with vlogging slowly, but I'm still feeling quite awkward about vlogging when other people are in the house. So that's why I found the weekend, for example, more difficult, and then Thursday and Friday, just simply because there was other people in the house. And I feel more confident when I'm not worried about other people walking in, and also I just feel really awkward. So we will get there at some point, but this seems to be a little bit of a slower process for me. But I mean, the fact that I've got a week of Vlogmas, I'm taking that as a win, because previous years when I've tried to do it, this is normally the point where it kind of goes a little bit off the rails. So the fact I've still got steam, I'm taking that as a win. But yes, I am going to work on this. This yarn is so lovely. It's the first time I've worked with yarn from Pasquale. I think I'm going to use their stuff more. It's so nice. I mean, I love, this is 100% baby alpaca, and I love alpaca. I have loved alpaca since I first knit with it, which I think was, I think I was maybe 15 or something, and I picked it up from a market in the town that we were on holiday at, and it was just a small ball, and since then I've absolutely loved it. I have noticed like differences in, like, I don't know if quality is the right word, like definitely there's some softer alpaca fibres than others, and that's often reflected in the price. Pasquale is quite expensive, but it is really, really soft. Would I be able to use it on a regular basis? Probably not, but I would like to, I think, incorporate not even just their alpaca, but some of their other fibres and some of the other yarns into my knitting wardrobe. Pardon me, but that will take some time. I try to supplement, the more expensive fibres. So what I would consider to be the more expensive fibres are things like Pasquale, Knitting for Olive, Sadness Garn, those sorts of brands with drops, and I think Yarnsmiths is the Wool Warehouse brand, and things like that, as well as I tried to look for secondhand. So yeah, I think quite a range. I went through a stage a few years back where I just wanted to work with hand dyed, which is very expensive, but one, I don't have the budget for that anymore. I just don't. But also secondly, I'm finding, as much as I do love hand dyed yarn, I'm not gravitating towards it as often as I was. I still like it for, like, especially things like shawls. Like this is unblocked, But this is a combination of Goody Yarns, her sparkle base, and then this is Black Elephant, which I picked up from Be Inspired Fibres in Edinburgh. And I mean, I do love the colours that you get with hand-dyed yarn, but I am finding, especially for garments, kind of leaning towards more solid colours. I think just my style has changed. There's my little tangent about yarn, I guess. But yes, I am really enjoying working with this. It's so lovely and soft. But I am going to work on this. Something's happening outside, I don't know what. I've had to put the big light on because it's like probably at this point anywhere between 2:30 and 2:45 and the sun's going down. So that was quite an adjustment for me, having lived in New Zealand. We moved from the UK to New Zealand when I was a child, and then I moved back as an adult. Is the fact that the daylight savings differences, yeah, I'm trying to think of how best to describe it. Basically, here in the winter the days are so much shorter than in New Zealand, and in the summer the days are so much longer. Like for example, the sun will rise in the summer sometimes at like 4 o'clock in the morning, whereas in New Zealand it's normally between 5 and half 5, or at least where I was based anyway. And then the same with the evening. Sun can sometimes go down about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, here, at least here in Scotland. But in New Zealand it was normally about 4:30. So again, you've got like an extra hour there. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, you know. The longer days are nice. I do like the winter in the sense of I like the cozy. However, I am finding that the cold this year is causing me a whole host of issues, which wasn't a problem previously. But then on the flip side, I don't think I would have been any better off in New Zealand, because in the summer I would have the humidity and the heat, and that is worse for me than the cold. So I think I'm in the best place really at the moment. There's so many tangents in this one clip. I apologise. I like to blab. Right, I am going to knit for a bit, watch some Vlogmas, have my clarinet lesson, then probably open my Advent, and then I imagine I'll be having a snooze, I think. Yeah, but I'll check in again later anyway. I have been working on my test knit, and basically it's a saddle shoulder, so you do 2 saddles and then you go on to the next bit. I finished one and realised I'm using the wrong needle size. So my main needles are 4mm and I meant to go down a half size. So, or like 0.5 millimeter. So these are meant to be 3.5. Which means I'm going to have to frog this and re-knit it all over again. I'll double check and make sure that I haven't misread, because I've had issues with, like, I'll read something and my brain seems to just think it's something else. That's been going on for a while. So I need to double check and make sure that I did actually read that properly and I'm not having a moment for no reason. But if that's the case, I'm going to change my needles, do the second one, cast on the second one, and then I think I'm going to do my Advent project, and this can go in the naughty corner until tomorrow. I can't put it in the naughty corner for too long because it's a test knit, but do I want to deal with it right now after I did, because like this is the majority of the saddle. I think I was here, so I did all of this in the wrong needle size. Thankfully it's not tons and tons of knitting. Am I still mad? Yes, I am mad. So this is going in the project bag, so I need to look at it. And I'm going to change my needle size, cast on the second one, and I'll deal with this one after. Dear. Normally I'm pretty good and I don't normally have that problem. This time was not it. So I've got to steal my 3.5 millimeters off my self-drafted cardigan. I did write in my notes in my Knit Companion app for that project that I'm using 3.5, so that's not a problem. I won't forget that I'm using 3.5, but honestly, It is now, I think, about 20 to 10, so I'm gonna go get ready for bed and call it for the night. I have finished today's section of my shawl. Make sure I got this right way around. So I've just finished this section here. My needles are clacking against my empty Diet Coke can. But yeah, so I can't remember how many more sections I go here. I then pick up these stitches and pick up along here and go that way. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's good fun. The only thing, I'm gonna have to find something to do with my leftovers, because, like, for example, what would be, I think the pink one probably had the most. So as of at the moment, I imagine probably the pink has used the most. I still have this much left. I don't know how much it is in grams. I would have to measure, like, weigh it, but I still have quite a lot of yarn left. I probably could knit a whole nother shawl using these leftovers. I don't know if I want to do that. Part of me, because I have other minis and, like, leftovers, like, for example, my like mini that I got from Goody Yarns yesterday. I have another one of those because whenever, oops, I just kicked my tripod. Whenever I go to her craft days, if I can, I choose to purchase the goodie bag, so you get a mini and some stitch markers. So I have at least a couple of her minis. I have leftovers from other projects. I will have these leftovers as well from the advent. So part of me is wondering, depending on how much I have, do I make, like, start making squares to make a blanket? I started years ago. This project is actually, the project I'm about to talk about, it's actually probably back in New Zealand in pardon me, in hibernation. But I started the Battenberg blanket, and I don't know how much you need per square, so I'd have to look at the pattern. I do own the pattern, so I can have a look at it, but I'm wondering maybe I'll do that and then get like an undyed yarn. I can get undyed similar bases to these from Wool Warehouse, or Chester has a retail shop. So Chester Wool does wholesale for a lot of yarn dyers, but they also apparently have a retail shop and they do a bunch of undyed. So I could do that, or even just have a look on Hobbycraft. The only thing is, I don't think Hobbycraft has much 4-ply wool. I mean, they might have some sock wool, but then most of the time their sock wool is really colourful, because often for socks you want colourful yarn. I'll have to have a look, but that's what I'm thinking, because I'm going to have a lot of yarn left over even after finishing the shawl. And I know it's not going to be the case for all the colours. As the shawl gets bigger, there's going to be less left over. I don't know. I mean, I don't need to decide that now. That might be a start in January project. And just as I finish projects, I can add them in. I could always also double strand 4-ply if I wanted to make a DK weight. I could do, I think it's the jelly roll blanket, and there's a couple of others. Habitation throw, I think, is another one. Yeah, I'm going to have to come up with a scrap project, I think. And as I said, not even just from the scraps left over from the advent, but just in general scraps left over. I knit quite a lot. If you've watched my podcast, you're probably aware of the fact I spend a lot of time knitting. And I think especially in the last, I would say, year, I think I knit even more, because I spend so much time at home. I cannot work at the moment. Oh, I keep kicking my tripod. At the moment, I cannot work full-time. I am barely able to, sometimes, depending on the day. But there's days where I'm barely able to do my part-time job, so there is no way. I spend a lot of time at home, and recently, I'd probably say in the last month, I think my knitting time has gone down because I spend a lot of my time sleeping, just because I need to recover from work. But because I spend a lot of time at home, I think I probably have more knitting time than a lot of people, and I'm very thankful for that. That does mean I go through a decent amount of yarn. A lot of it's in my stash, and generally I will make sure that I have a little bit extra ink for accounting for things like gauge and stuff like that. Ideally, I don't want to have yarn chicken. So yeah, all that to say is I have a lot of scraps, and that's not even considering things like advents. So yeah, part of me is thinking maybe I should start doing a blanket and get like an undyed, so like a cream, to be the non-colourful squares. I think it'd be quite fun. I don't know. I really want to make the Battenberg blanket because I do like crochet, and the Battenberg blanket looks really, really fun, and I enjoyed it when I started it. I just haven't finished it, and I don't currently have that project. So yeah, there's a couple of crochet blankets actually. I think all of them by Cherry Heart that I have the patterns for, and I would like to make. Maybe that's something I should look into next year, because I would love to have more blankets. I get cold very easily. I'm one of those people that I get, especially again, I think in the last few months, it's gotten worse, but this has been an issue for like a year. I get random fevers and chills that can last for hours, and it doesn't matter what I do. And I know it's one of those things of probably you're not meant to put extra layers on if you're having a fever, because it doesn't actually help with the temperature regulation. But at the same time, I really need to get a thermometer because I need to know the difference. I don't know if it feels like a fever anyway, but I don't know if it's actually just my body thinks it's cold. I don't know, to be perfectly honest. Add to the list of mysteries. But all that to say is I do really like having a blanket, and I would like to have one at work. So maybe I should look at doing a blanket. I started a temperature blanket last year. I think I got through half of January. So probably going to circle back to that one, either restart it, carry on the temperature blanket using historical data, or scrap that and maybe come up with a different plan. It's 9:45 and Ozzy's got zoomies, and I need to go to bed. I've been talking for like 8 minutes. I don't even know if all of this will stay in, but anyway, I'm gonna go get some sleep because I have work in the morning, and I need to get Ozzy sorted, make sure that she gets her treats and everything. So thank you for joining me. I'm hoping tomorrow, fingers crossed, will not be a double. The last few have been doubles because I just have not had enough footage. I've just been way too exhausted. Fatigue has been really bad. Either that or I've just struggled to film because my partner's been home. So, but yeah, so thank you for joining me. I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow will be day 9. Yes, this will go up tomorrow, but I'll start recording tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna go get some sleep before I keep talking nonsense. But thank you for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow.